Hey, everybody, this is the Ads with the Twang podcast. I'm your host, Ben Blackman. And on this episode, you're going to see me choke some people in my neighborhood who have no mufflers and keep driving back and forth in front of my house. Okay, maybe you won't actually see that today. What we're actually going to talk about is a little less fun. It's going to be about how to not sabotage your own ads by having too high of an expectation of what the return should be. All right, so I know that's a lot, but it's extremely important, and let's just go ahead and get into it. Here comes episode 116. The Ads with the Twang podcast is dedicated to helping you create simple, successful ads and use smart strategies to grow your online business. Get ready, because I think you're going to love this. Okay, sorry to start off with my personal grievances today, but nevertheless, there it is. So if you live in East Tennessee or if you visit East Tennessee, just expect people not to have mufflers. It's just the way it goes. It's just how we roll around here, apparently. But nevertheless, I've just tried to record this several times. And anyway, it's just been kind of funny. It happens that way. All right. So today we're talking about the realistic side of running profitable ads. And it's something that not a lot of people are willing to talk about, at least not openly. And what I mean by that is that we often just see the people when they do really well, and they did a 10x return. Okay, and I'm going to use that a lot during this: 10x, 5x, 3x. I'm going to say that a lot. So let's clarify what I mean. I'm talking about return on ad spend, ROAS. Okay, not return on investment. Those are two totally different things. Your return on ad spend is simply just, how much did you spend? How much did you make? That's it. That's all you want to compare. Now, you do want to do return on investment and so forth, but that's not what we're talking about on this episode. So everybody out here is chasing this 10x return like it's a normal thing. Like that's usually what people get, like it's the baseline. And that's not it at all. I mean, I have seen the inside of so many campaigns. I mean, I've been doing this so long, I've just had the opportunity to do that. I've consulted on a bunch of them, and I've seen them, and they're usually not, usually it's not what you think it is what I'm getting at. So the people who are doing really well, they're quietly getting a 2x, 3x, 4x return. That's where they are. That's where the money is. That's where the scalability is. That's where the consistency is. And that's what you should be shooting for. So here's what happens when people do get a 10x return. And this happened to me. This has happened to me more than once. You get a 10x return, and it's really exciting, and it's fun, and it's exhilarating. It's great. You've cracked the code, and everything's perfect, right? Even though the launch or whatever it is you're doing, the webinar, whatever it is, it wasn't perfect, you still did great, and that kind of thing is just great. But then the next time you run it, you only get 2x or 3x. And this can happen week over week. Like I see this all the time in the low ticket offers, where one week you do great and get all these sales, and then the next week you don't get anything, right? It can be very up and down like that. And so you think because you didn't get you got a 10x the first time and you only got a 2x the second time, that it was a failure, when it's not. And that mindset sabotages people's ads, because I will see people all the time cut off their ads just because they weren't profitable enough. And that's usually almost always a bad thing, because if it's profitable at all, and as long as it makes sense, you keep it going. Okay, now you can add other ads into it and do other things, and that's fine, but you keep it going. Now, I've had people fight me on that and stuff like that, but the math doesn't work for them. And the reason it doesn't work is because once you find a profitable, so I might put out 50 ads, right? I might put out 50 ads, and you don't have to put out 50. It's just I'm crazy like that. But I might put out 50 ads, and, might have 5 of them that actually do well. And that's the way it kind of works. Well, it's very difficult for most people to consistently do that. And so if you have something that's profitable, you want to leave it going while you're testing other things, while you're putting other things out there. And so the mindset of thinking that you should get a 10x is just not good. And you need more data, and you need to do things more consistently to bring in the amount of revenue that you want to bring in. And that means sometimes not doing as well on some ads and doing better on others and worse on others. That's what that means. So growth is really built on consistent 2x, 3x, maybe 4x return. That's really what it is, because it gives you the ability to, once you make that, to invest the money back in, to pay yourself, and then to scale. That's what it's really good for. So let me just say this. It's a little different by depending on what it is you're doing. So if you're doing a low ticket versus if you're doing a high ticket offer, how you're going to look at that's going to be different. So high ticket should be more. In other words, your return's going to be more because it's high ticket, and that's how it works. So let me give you an example. If you have, let's say your high ticket offer is $5,000, all right, and you spend $500 to get discovery calls. So it costs you $500 an ad spend to get one discovery call. Let's just say you get 3 discovery calls. That's $1,500, and you close 1 out of the 3. Okay, so you spent $1,500 to get 5,000 back. Okay, so there, your profit was $3,500. Okay, gross profit anyway. So what was your return on ad spend? Well, you almost got a 4x, but not quite. So, that's exactly where you would want it to be. And that's okay. It's not a 10x return. You didn't book calls for $100. And so most people just aren't willing to go with those numbers, and they don't see the profitability because it wasn't profitable enough for them. So when in reality it was, because the week before they had, 2 calls and they closed both of them. And that's going to happen too. It's not going to be the same every week. It just doesn't work that way because there's just too many variables that go into it. So what I want you to think about is running your numbers based on real margins and not treating ads like a lottery ticket. And I know that we all do because, it's exhilarating, like I said before, when you start getting those sales roll in and it's fun and you can see it going up, and that's all great. But you've got to remember that part of what you're doing, especially if you're doing low ticket, part of what you're doing is you're getting customers that you can market to again and again with your other offers. So let me just say this as well. A lot of it depends upon what niche you're in. So for example, like what I do, it's very expensive to run ads. So what I pay to show the ads to people is somewhere about 3 to 4 times what somebody in the health and fitness industry pays to show to their people. And that's just how it works. It's just how I get charged for it. And it's how everybody gets charged for it that does what I do. And so I have to build that in. I have to know that going in. And if you haven't ever run ads before, if you're like, oh gosh, this is just a lot to think about and stuff, don't worry about all that just yet. Okay, go ahead and get started running your ads so you can get some data in and you can figure it out. And just remember, you're going to make money on the follow-up. Now, I'm not a huge fan of investing all this massive amount of time in automations and all this other stuff, getting it set up in the beginning because you don't know it's going to work, right? I'm more build it as you go and make adjustments as you go kind of person. But you want to remember that your follow-up's also going to play into your return on ad spend, which leads me into just something else you should think about. And that has to do with not attributing the other people who buy back to your original ads. So here's what happens is you get somebody to opt in or you get somebody to buy or, whatever it is they do, buy the first thing. And then they don't buy anything for 6 months or a year or 2 years. Well, then they do buy, but then you don't attribute that back to the original ad spend. So once you start learning how to do that, you can really see what the true return is on your ads and versus just the little window that you're looking at. Maybe it's by month or however it is that you're doing it. So let me just say this. If you like this kind of stuff, and by the way, I realize this is a lot more in detail and stuff. It's not quite as fun as other things, but please subscribe. I would love for you to, and please leave me a good review. If you're not going to leave me a good review, what do? You email me, tell me how bad I am, and tell me all the crappy things I'm doing. I will read it, I promise, or send it to me on social media. It's fine too. But otherwise, please subscribe. So let me just kind of recap this. So chasing a 10x return or something like that, it isn't just stressful, it's very misleading. So remember, keep it in your mind that if you can do a 2x, 3x return, you're winning. The rest of the internet is chasing unicorns. I mean, that's what most people are doing. And you're going to be the one that's going to build something that lasts. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that all made sense because it is truly important. All right, that's it. And I'll catch you guys on episode 117. Thanks for listening to the Ads with the Twang podcast. If you get a second, jump on over to my YouTube channel, Marketing with the Twang, and subscribe. You'll get all kinds of no BS business building help there. I'll see you next time.